Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct pleasure for me to be here today in Warsaw and to participate in this third annual international conference on NATO organized by the Center for International Relations. We have had many conferences on the new strategic concept in recent months, but this exercise would certainly not be complete without a Polish perspective. What I should like to focus on in my remarks this morning is territorial defense, what it means today, and how we continue to implement it and keep it credible. NATO's core task was, is, and will remain the defense of our territory and our populations. But we need, at the same time, to take a hard look at what deterrence means in the 21st century. We need to decide what kind of capabilities will ensure that no one ever thinks that an attack against the NATO member country can be successful. For our deterrence to remain credible, I firmly believe it must continue to be based on a mix of conventional and nuclear capabilities. And our new strategic concept should affirm that. However, our new strategic concept will also need to reflect something else. It will need to reflect that the meaning of territorial defense is changing. Static, heavy forces won't deter terrorists bent on destabilizing our societies, or computer hackers targeting our critical infrastructure, or rogue states armed with nuclear weapons. To meet these new threats and to defend our territories requires a level of engagement. And I want to highlight three areas where we must demonstrate that engagement. First, if we want to fight terrorism, we must do so where it originates. And that is what we are doing in Afghanistan. We are at a crucial point in our mission. There's been a significant increase in NATO's military contribution. And together with an increase in the international community's civilian contribution, this has produced a real swing in the momentum away from the Taliban. It is vital that we capitalize on this momentum. Our recent operation in the south of Afghanistan has demonstrated the importance of integrating civilian and military efforts, and that is an area we must continue to focus on. What it has also shown is the growing ability of the Afghan army to take the lead in security operations. And it is essential that we build on that. That's why we have decided to assist the Afghan government in expanding the Afghan security forces. We have established a training mission with the aim to train and educate Afghan soldiers and Afghan police. The ultimate goal is to hand over the lead responsibility to the Afghan security forces when conditions permit, district by district, province by province. A second challenge that we must tackle head-on is cybersecurity. I am heartened by the progress that we have made in this area over the last few years with our Center of Excellence in Estonia and several other response measures. But I'm also convinced that we can and must do even better. Cyberspace does not respect national borders. We need a sustained effort to enhance our protection. And if our protection is breached, we need the solidarity of allies and friends to come to our aid. Third, we must develop an effective missile defense. In the coming years, we will probably face many more countries and possibly even some non-state actors armed with long-range missiles and nuclear capabilities. Therefore, I believe that NATO's deterrent posture should include missile defense. Deterrence works against rational actors, but not all actors that we will have to deal with in the future will be rational. That's why deterrence and defense need to go together, and why we have the obligation to look into missile defense options. If we want to keep NATO's territorial defense effective, affordable, and credible, we must push ahead with the alliance transformation. We need more flexible, mobile, and deployable armed forces. If our military is stationary, if our armed forces can't be moved beyond the borders of each individual member state, the defense of allied territory will not be effective. Transformation is also about more efficient use of resources. Allies should work more closely together in acquiring key capabilities and funding operations. The current financial crisis and the budgetary problems faced by all our nations only make this a more pressing requirement. We need to use the economic constraints as an incentive to eliminate duplication and rationalize our defense procurement.